Hi, everybody out there in YouTube land. Happy New Year to you. I've been away taking care of some personal business, um, but I'm back, and I'd like to say I'm glad to be back. And if you're tuned into this channel, you're tuned into this channel because this is a channel where you get true critical thinking. Now, I'm going into my topic today about a situation that occurred a few weeks ago, and it involved a comment that the legendary NFL player Jim Brown made concerning a comment about Kobe Bryant, which led Stephen A. Smith for what is Stephen A? I guess you could call him an ESPN celebrity, so to speak. And he made a comment about black conservatives being looked at as pariahs within their own community. And that leads into the title of my video on I love black conservatives, but I don't like them. Now, I came up with that from a speech from Dr. Martin Luther King, and he was making his comparisons between blacks, the black man and the white man. And he said in that speech that he was correct. He had been getting a lot of pressure from guys within our community about his message of love for the white man. And he broke it down for his audience. And in that speech, he said that it was right for him to love the white man because God wanted him to love the white man, because the white man deserved the best housing, and the white man deserved the best food, and the white man deserved the best education, and the white man deserved to raise his family without pressure. And he said it's as well as the white man should want the same for him. And he said, and that is the love that God ordained for him to want for the white man. But in the same time, he said, I'm glad God didn't ask me to like the white man. He said, because it's hard to like a man who will bomb your house. It's hard to like a man who will lynch your daddy. It's hard to like a man that will even lynch you. Which leads me to the basis of this video on black conservatives. Because I thought maybe Stephen A. doesn't understand how come black conservatives are looked at as pariahs in their community. Now, the reason why I say I love black conservatives, because they have the right to disrespect our community. They have the right to side with a white conservative who has an ideology based on white supremacy. So if you want to side with that ideology, if you want to support that party, if you want to, let's say, side with that whole group, then we're going to look at you like you're a pariah. We're going to look at you like you mean us no good, which you don't, because I have proof for that. Anytime you will side in issues like affirmative action against us, as I made in the future, we don't receive those kind of benefits. We're the least of the groups. And for you to paint this picture that and agree that the majority of blacks are unproductive people, for you to support that philosophy and side with our political enemies, so to speak, since we're since the majority of us vote Democrat anyway, I have issues with that type of mind thinking. And no group, I mean nobody. If you look through the, let's say the Jewish community, or any the Native American community, black conservatives are the only ones who will say black people don't deserve any reparation whatsoever. Now, I may agree with that if you're talking about giving black people money. I'll agree with you 100%. No, we don't need money. But yes, I do agree that some type of payback needs to be issued. And if you don't want to give it to slavery, okay, I can somewhat understand that, although I don't understand how the ideology applies, because none of our ancestors are still alive. None of the Native American ancestors are still alive, but they still reap benefits of some form of reparation, which we don't get. But you will stand in front of the camera and be first to say that black people don't deserve any form of reparation. But my thing is this. Okay, if you don't want to give them reparation for slavery, what about Jim Crow? That ain't so far ago. That ain't so far long ago that we don't have people who experienced Jim Crow. So I don't know. That seems kind of weak for me. That's why these kind of things, you will, without question, get in front of a camera and be happy. I mean, completely happy to quote the stats given to you by the so-called white liberal media, who you shouldn't trust. But oh my God, you sure will trust their stats that they release to you. You don't like anything else that the white media gives you or the white liberal media gives you but the stats. You'll take the white liberal media stats and take them and shit on your people with them. And that's the problem. One of the problems I have with you, even your black ministers. Yeah, you talk about Jesse and Al and any other black leader, as you call them, although we never clarified these guys as our leaders. They may represent us in certain issues, but we never said they were our leaders. That's a brand you put on those people. And if nothing else about Al and Jesse, at least Al and Jesse will have tried to address solutions with which black conservative ministers, i.e. Jesse Perkins and that Uncle Tom Manning, disgusting. They will get on there and say the vilest and the foulest things about black people. Name me one doggone Israeli person that will stand up, a rabbi will turn around and say that the atrocities that they had to go through was not so great, where they don't deserve. Find me one Israeli representative in their religious order. Find me one Native American chief that will come forth and say that it was good that we went through what my people had to face to get our land stolen and to be pushed into reservations. Find me one. But oh my God, we can sure find a black conservative minister that can get up there. That fool Manning. You can go and see it for yourself. The man said if a race war came down, he was going to beg white people to let them get on their side. He wanted to be on their side. He would fight against his own people. How can we, and I'm not speaking for all black conservatives. I have to put that in there because I know it's some black conservatives that ain't that stupid. But what I'm saying, what makes you look bad is you are allowing these kind of people like David Carroll, Saintless Painless, and that coon dog in the junkyard, E.T. Williams, and now this idiot who calls himself the political ninja. All y'all both are house Negroes. That's what you are. That's what you are. And how can we defend you when you won't defend us? You won't even protect our youth. You will support. So you are political eunuchs. That's exactly what you are. Political eunuchs. You're just as useful to the to us, as you say, the Democratic group, like I said, we all need to run from both parties and form our own party. You have the intelligent black conservative, but you're scared. You're a scary group of people. That's why you get the disdain of the lower income group and some of the middle class groups or the middle income group. You're a political eunuch. You're guarding a philosophy that you have no say-so in. You supporting an ideology that they don't even want to hear a word of input from you. Let me tell you how dumb y'all are. You won't even support affirmative action to the point where your other black conservatives can take advantage of it. You want to scrap a program that can be beneficial to you. But no, you're only concerned about your own well-being. You can come up with the ideology and the platforms and the power to recreate your community, but you don't want to be a part of that. You like the idea that your community's so messed up. You support it because it gives you something to talk about and disdain this group for. I don't know. I was reading the book by Star Parker, Uncle Sam's Plantation. See, this is what I'm talking about, how they will misquote our history. This woman had the mitigated gall to say that the Black Panther Party was just out for revenge. No, you got it twisted, sister. They were out to get justice, to make sure that we were being treated fairly and not unfairly by law enforcement, political structures. These are the kind of people we need, not black conservatives. Only thing we need is your mental input to help guide us out of this mess. You got that ideology, you have that power, but you'd rather side with the white conservative, the white supremacist ideal. This is where we part ways with you. You want to look like you want to be, you want to look the role that you want to be, act the role. You don't want to be a political pariah or a social pariah in your community, then stop shitting on your community. It's just that simple. Stop supporting these ridiculous so-called ideals of like supporting laws that will put your youth in prisons and supporting the ideology to privatize these prisons. If they're going to privatize these prisons and turn them over to the stockholders, then that means it has to be a profit. And they can't make a profit if they ain't putting people in jail. So guess who they going to put in jail? Our kids, our people. Are you going to stand by and let that happen, black conservative? Are you really going to stay on that party? Or are you going to disavow your allegiance and form another party with your people and see if you can guide them to a different way? That's power. I don't care if your numbers ain't there. That's power because you are choosing not to side along with this kind of ideology. You're about as useful to us as black feminists and black feminists. And let me tell you what you are. You are the sisters who were in the Black Panther Party, and you fell. You fell under the spell of a government that wanted to dismantle your party. They liked your ideology, your spirit to fight, but they didn't want you to fight with us. They created an agenda where you'll fight against us. That's why you get slammed on these YouTube channels, because that is the basis. You got lost along the way. That's exactly what you were. You were members of the Black Panther Party that got lost along the way. I know that sounds difficult for you to accept, but you check it out for yourself where all those sisters came from that joined that feminist movement. Those were former Black Panther women who supported that ideology. So Stephen A., I don't know if this is acceptable to you, but that's what it is. But see, when we have people, like I say, that lame David Carroll, a.k.a. the intellectual juggernaut, and saneless, painless, that man doesn't have an ounce of sense to me, and neither does that coon dog in the junkyard, E.T. Williams, and him and that political ninja. Them two guys remind me of butlers in the White House. They see what's going on, they know what's going on, but they don't know how to talk. They can't talk about what's going on. That's where I stand until you, like Tommy Sotomayor, he made a video about bravado and how these young black youth practice bravado, but they seem to lack courage. Tommy, let me put you up on something here, brother. I know you super intelligent, all that, whatever it is, you know, you shine in your bright moments or whatever. But let me tell you something. All bravado is, sir, is misguided courage. And when those kids get their courage together and understand that bravado ain't gonna work, and a message for you kids is, y'all messed up when you traded in your cool for swag. And I'm gonna touch on that in the future. But that's exactly what you did. You traded your cool in for swag. When you were cool, you didn't do all this so-called flossing. But now you've turned the tables on yourself. But like I say, that's a whole nother video. But that's what I'm telling Tommy. All bravado is, brother, is misguided courage. And if we get those kids to demonstrate courage the way they demonstrate that bravado, look out. That's all I'm going to say. Look out, because then we'll truly have a new black youth. And that's a movement that once that movement gets going, nobody will be able to stop it. I want to say to everybody, once again, who knows a black conservative, if he really doesn't understand why he's, let's say, not looked upon as a hero in his community, then tell him to start acting like a hero in his community. Nobody gonna support a fool that'll stand up and just dump on his community at will. Anytime a camera gets in his face, he can never say anything good or positive about his community, or even attack the white supremacist ideology. He won't do that, but he'll blame everything on the white liberal. Like I say, he don't want nothing from the white liberal but his stats. And he uses his stats to just dump on us and use it as comparisons of why we're so evil and all this. I'm ending on this video right here. I got some more coming in the future. But let me tell you something, black conservatives. Get your shit together. Until then, you, everybody else, and anybody else, all the happy people in the world and those that are unhappy, either stay on or get on the happy trails.